Hi everybody, this is Dee at Aloha Astro, and I'm back after a couple of weeks off while I was with a family member who's had surgery, and I thank you all who knew what was going on for your support and your prayers and good wishes and good energy coming our way. Hopefully I'll be able to maintain the daily posting. If you don't see something on a day you expect to, just know there's probably a good reason why I was not able to write that day. So let's take a look at today's new moon in Pisces. It's occurring February 20th, 2023, and it occurred at 1 degree 22 minutes of the mutable water sign of Pisces at 2:06 a.m. Eastern Time. Let's take a look at what I've written. New moon in Pisces, Monday, February 20th, melds poignancy for the past with fantasy surrounding the future, as the moon conjunct the sun in Pisces also joins Saturn in Aquarius. These three planets are keeping to themselves today without making any major aspects with other planets, so you may feel that this new moon creates an energy and resultant choices and events that are somehow outside your usual routine or your default programming. I recommend you listen to your intuition, go with the flow, be open to an alternative perspective, or try new things, while maintaining the mindset that you are learning as you go and are not attached to a specific outcome. The new moon is always a good time to set intentions, and usually the more specific you can be about what you desire, the better. But under the influence of this mutable water sign moon, with transiting Venus in Pisces, conjunct Pisces ruling planet Neptune, sextile to Pluto in Capricorn, while Mercury in Aquarius is sextile to Jupiter in Aries and trine to Mars in Gemini, it may be better to trust in the universe and believe that whatever is in your highest and best good will become apparent in the immediate future, than to give the universe a detailed list. Clear stagnant energy in your consciousness and your living space while imagining the feeling of living your dream, while knowing that energy and possibilities are unlimited. It is always easier to begin an adventure, accept an opportunity, or enter a new romantic relationship when the past has been sorted. There are excellent aspects between multiple planets now for overcoming procrastination. Releasing what you no longer want or need opens the space for something new. So let's take a look at the chart and see what's going on. All right, so you can see these three planets, as mentioned, are hanging out together, but not much really happening between them and anybody else. They're kind of separate and apart and joining their own energies together for some, I'd say, purposeful, both introspection and a clearing up of details that need to be finished and completed before you embark on whatever your new plans are for the next 2 weeks ahead. And also, that open-ended water sign is a sign of imagination, inspiration, ideals, visions. It is basically where we hold that space of anything is possible. Pisces has rulership over the 12th house in the zodiac, and that's a house of dream state, meditation, seclusion, retreat, and healing, the collective consciousness of society as well as your subconscious. So it can be a time of going inside, going within, as well as being open and receptive, passive, to be sensing what's going on around you in terms of energy, how you use it, how you receive it, how you send it. And it's within that darkness, the yin energy, that we manifest. We do have some strong potential for manifesting going on with Jupiter conjunct Chiron in Aries. Aries is a cardinal fire sign that says, I am. And in fact, the work you do right now on getting into the feeling of what you desire, and this is also why feeling is more important than the specific things right now, as we have Venus conjunct Pisces ruling planet Neptune. also both in Pisces, and Venus is here just for now. Tomorrow, I believe, it tips over into Aries, and that sextile to Pluto at the final degree of Capricorn. There's a feeling of pressure being brought to bear when planets reach their last degree, that something has to hurry up and get done because a new sign is coming up on the horizon right ahead. So whether it's closure you're seeking, or you have to get into that space and feeling of truly believing, knowing, sensing, and feeling what it is to have what you desire, to carry that energy forward as we enter the Aries season and we begin to have the faster moving planets entering Aries. We still have a ways to go in the Pisces season, but when we get a full month from now to the new moon in March, it will be in Aries at the beginning of Aries, and I have the feeling that the beginnings that you're experiencing this month, in the month ahead, are going on so much more on the energetic level, on the intuitive level, in the field of your imagination and dreams. But just like to plant seeds to grow in the ground, we have to have fertile ground, and we have to clear it of weeds and rocks and till it and be prepared for the seeds to be planted. That's what's going on right now. And really getting rid of the clutter, or getting rid of any beliefs that you might have that are literally keeping you from what you desire. We do have Venus and Neptune conjunct squaring Mars in Gemini, and a lot of times I see people who say they want a particular thing, like, oh, I'm tired of being single, I really want a partner, and then they repeat negative stories about the past and exes, and tell jokes that are, you know, derogatory in terms of the gender that they're interested in, and what are they going to attract if they're in duality over things. So wherever you're in duality is likely to become apparent right now at the new moon if you do closely examine your thoughts and your beliefs, especially while we have Mercury in Aquarius, and that can be rather blunt or truthful, and also where you can get that sudden flash of insight and be like, well, duh, I'm the one who's standing in my own way because I'm the one who's saying, intending one thing, but then saying another. And the minor grand trine we have going on between Mercury, Mars in Gemini, and Jupiter, Chiron in Aries indicates that you can become aware of your thoughts and your words and choose what you wish to say or think, that you don't have to be carrying around things that are literally limiting you in some way or holding you back, that maybe you've created or that you've accepted that other people have told you. And we have another square going on right now between Mercury and Uranus that can create a little bit of fear of losing something, because Uranus is in Taurus, and Taurus can be a rather material sign. It rules the second house of money, personal finances, self-worth, self-esteem. Again, it's up to you. When you have squares, then they produce the friction or the call to action. It's the work that's going on right now. These other blue lines that you see are the ease and the flow, and they're not going to really bring the goodies to you unless you do the work of something. It does show the opportunity for being able to manifest what you desire. But again, you have to possibly believe that you are special enough to receive something, or, why wouldn't the universe give you what you want? Is there something in you that thinks that you don't deserve that, or you can't have that? Perhaps that's something to look at under the influence of that square. That Aquarius energy is very much focused on the uniqueness, the individuality, and what makes you special or different can be the question that comes up as it squares Uranus. And everybody does have their unique attributes or talents. And even if you're just average and you're like everybody else, how does that mean that you can't have the things that you desire? It absolutely does not. So take a look at the stories that you're telling yourself and consider whether you're sending out mixed signals, especially when it comes to romance. Well, we've got Mars, which can be very much about the ardent pursuit and the sexual energy. It's a very physical planet and very active. And Venus and Neptune conjunct are both highly romantic in the sign of Pisces, the yearning and the longing and the idealism, um, where we probably see people through rose-colored glasses under that Piscean influence, or we're more willing to forgive and forget, or to be patient and tolerant. But definitely the romantic yearning can be stronger because they are joined together right now and they are sextile to Pluto, which is very magnetic in success-oriented Capricorn. So you may really, really be wanting that that intense connection with somebody else on a romantic level. And if you didn't have it over this past Valentine's Day in particular, or if you're getting over a breakup, you may be arguing with yourself over, do you or do you not want to get back on the dating websites, go to events where you're going to be meeting people, um, polishing up your singles profile, um, letting go of your feelings from a past relationship or your negative thoughts, and getting prepared, being prepared for a new relationship to enter if you truly desire it. So that's some of the work of that square there. And we do have a bowl going on right now, which creates all the planets in a lineup, one right after the other. Oops, we're just past a bowl technically here. But we are by sign, and depending on where this new moon is occurring for you, the rising sign would change. But we have planets running through Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. So we've got Mars and Pluto at the edges of that bowl, and they are both powerful planets. Mars is action-oriented, and Pluto is about power, transformation, control, upheaval, and the anticipation of the shifts that are coming in March. You may already feel when we get to that new moon in March, we're going to have Pluto enter Aquarius, and that's a distinctly different energy from Capricorn, where it's been for a long time. We're also going to have Mars move out of Gemini, where it's been since October, and it will be entering Cancer around March 24th, same time that we have Pluto make a shift. So the drive or urge right now to move something forward is strong. And yes, almost anything can happen is the feeling of that new moon, or anything is possible. So monitoring your feelings is incredibly important, and your mind, and not to suppress the negativity that comes up, but if you can step away from it and observe it and become aware of it, and then replace that vision, thought, or feeling with something better, even if you have to do it incrementally by degrees. If you can't, let's say you're broke and you don't know where the rent money is going to come from, and you can't imagine where it's going to come from, you may have to imagine that, well, you could manifest $100 perhaps, and keep pushing the limits of your feelings to what you can accept. Just like you would work a muscle, you wouldn't be lifting 50-pound weights in the gym if you've not been lifting weights for a while. You would start small. and build yourself up. So you can do that every time you start getting into a panic or thinking about what you don't have and how you really need it or you want it. Um, Go to as far as the feeling will permit you in your body and sit with that feeling for a while and then revisit it again a little while later and see if you can expand that feeling to having more or being more, to being able to believe and accept something bigger and something better. Work on things incrementally, and you are more likely to have success. And the same thing with holding a feeling. The longer you can hold a feeling of what it feels like to have what you desire, the more likely it is to manifest. And if you can do that multiple times over the course of the day and return to that feeling of joy or satisfaction or relief or whatever the feeling is that comes up in you when you envision getting what you desire, then do that again and again until it becomes your reality. So that's it for now. And again, thank you. And I will see you again in 2 weeks when we're looking at a full moon coming up. Take care, stay safe, pay attention to your dreams at this new moon, and I'll talk to you soon.